We will call to order the Regional Council meeting of May 11th. Just welcome everyone for attending tonight, and apologies for beginning the meeting just a little bit late. Just taking a moment to acknowledge that the Northern Rockies Administration Center is located in the heart of the traditional territory of the Dene, Cree, and Denesaw people of Fort Nelson and Prophet River First Nations. We further recognize the rights provided by our treaty and also celebrate the contributions and the enduring presence of the Métis people in our region. Please be advised that tonight's meeting is available for the public to attend virtually, is being streamed and recorded. Council, are there any additions to the agenda? CAO, Barry, any additions? All right. I understand that there is a comment from the public. Bev Vandersteen, did you have a comment?
How about now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. I know that I have a letter on the correspondence file, but I did just want to personally thank Regional Council, Mayor and Council, as well as the staff at the Rec Center for all of the help over the trade show. Regional Council's support was invaluable to helping me make this a success, and I can never say enough about all of the support that we get from the Recreation Center staff, from admin helping getting things organized and all of that as we move into it, to the staff that handle all of the little requests, mop up all the spills, make sure it's kept tidy. They really do go above and beyond, and always with a smile. So just wanted to express my appreciation. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, and thanks for taking the time to write the letter and also attend and give us your thoughts. And just want to pass on my gratitude to you for putting on the trade show. How many years now? So yeah, I know.
To count.
I know it's a lot of work. It was a wonderful event. I was there on Saturday and was very well attended. And yeah, had lots of great interactions with folks. So yeah, so just thank you very much, Bev, for all the work that you put into making the trade show successful every year.
Thank you. Yeah, it just goes to show. I mean, it takes the effort of the community, and so for everybody that came out and all of our exhibitors, so not without, we have to have it all. So really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item 4, adoption of the agenda, please. Councillor Enoch, seconded by Councillor Andrews. All those in favor? Motion carries. Adoption of the minutes. Committee of the Whole, April 27th. Regional Council, April 27th. Special Regional Council, April 15th. All of 2026. Adoption. Councillor Andrews, seconded by Councillor Enoch. All those in favor? Great. Motion carries. Are there any errors or omissions? Seeing none, we'll move on to business arising from the minutes. Item 6.1, North Central Local Government Association membership due update. DFO Pike, nice to see you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I wanted to bring one further update regarding the membership fee calculations for the NCLGA. I can confirm that we have paid our membership up to March 31st, 2026, but we will not be forwarding any further payment when it's requested. I also received clarification about their intent to discuss the model for calculating the membership fees. So their intent is presenting both the current model and a potential simplified model through the annual report at the AGM as a member presentation. The intent is to provide context, outline considerations, and seek member guidance. No formal changes being sought at the May AGM, but they will be receiving feedback to inform next steps, including whether a proposal is developed for consideration at the 2027 AGM.
Okay, well,
Okay.
that's interesting then.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I don't want to lose track of this, so we're paid until March 31st. So at some point in time, maybe after we attend the NCLGA AGM, council should have a discussion on how we see that moving forward. So we'll get that put on a future agenda. Thank you.
Thank
Okay, any further discussion on that? Okay, seeing none, let's move to 6.2, the Wild Wolves Letter of Support, request from the April 27th, 2027 delegation. Discussion, if everybody remembers the presentation that they were seeking a letter of support. Councillor Enox?
I think it would be good economically to support their, support their cause and their tour. We just have a few people in town staying in our hotels, eating in our restaurants for a night.
Great, okay. Councillor Andrews?
Do we know if our event society has had a chance to look at the request? Like, I think this is something we should partner with them, but if they can't take it on, then maybe we wouldn't write a letter of support. I'm not too sure.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Enox, can you speak to that?
Was there an email sent to the event society?
Sorry?
Was there an email or anything sent to the event society from the NRRA or no?
The commitment in the meeting was to relay the contact information for the event society to
The presenter?
Thank you. His last name
Yes.
was
Okay.
And he was going to get a hold of you, but if he hasn't,
I
then
haven't seen anything as of yet.
perhaps, yeah. Well, they weren't necessarily requesting our, like any capacity participation. They're just a letter of support that we would welcome them into the community. So, yeah. Councillor Souls?
Just take note to the unintended messaging in the project. When we later are talking about the economic development plan, this plan that they are working on is a food security, food sovereignty plan. And that's what it focuses on. And
Yeah.
so this is a very good illustration. Take note to it as to why it matters that there are northern markets for local southern agricultural, because this is a constant issue of really highly priced food in the Northwest Territories and the Northern Yukon.
Okay, thank you. Well, I fully would support a letter of support to the Wild Wolves Club for their delegation coming through the municipality April of 2027.
Great, I would second that.
All right, then. All those in favor? Okay, motion carried. Any opposed? Sorry. No. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, moving on to 7.1 Administration Report 2826, Re-Economic Diversification Strategy. Ms. Vandersteen?
Hello, Regional Council and Deputy Mayor and Mayor Rob Fraser on the screen. Sorry, it took me a second. My computer decided it didn't want to mouse. This report comes to you after the presentation on April 27th from Deloitte LLP, providing the economic diversification strategy as it was presented and discussed with council at that time. We've also provided some additional information looking at the specific strategy action items and listed out the ones that we feel might be able to be started or initiated within the remainder of 2026 for council's consideration, and any feedback that council would like to provide. We took a look at all of them based off of the current workloads, work that's currently underway or is about ready to commence, as well as available resources and budgets. That's how that came to you, because we do see some excitement with getting this rolling and not just sitting on a shelf. Additionally, that's not in your in the administration report. We did send this out once the agenda was published to all of the participants who graciously gave their time and energy and thoughts to the process in October of last year, to thank them for their time and their commitment and the work that they were able to provide into this. And I did have someone reach back out just asking about, on page 8 of the strategy, there is a graph that outlines some of the industries historically in the community or at the time of the data was collected. And tourism isn't visible on it directly. So I just wanted to highlight that because of the data systems currently in place, it uses the 2-digit NOC codes that are set out by the federal government and collected through various StatsCan and things. So tourism, unfortunately, doesn't fall under one specific code or grouping of businesses. So it ends up being kind of sprinkled throughout a whole bunch of different areas, which means that there isn't a direct comparison of industry between, say, energy versus tourism. So just thought I would give that additional information based on the question that came to me directly.
Great.
So
Thank you.
For discussion or comment.
Yeah. So open the floor for discussion. Council, comments, questions? Okay, well, I just had one point. This plan is for me very exciting. I think for all of us, it just I'm so glad to know that it's not going to sit on a shelf. But under the analysis, Krista, like the very last sentence, it says, well, those in orange are identified as next phase priorities to be undertaken later in the year as capacity allows. So my question would be, what if capacity does not allow then? Does that mean it's going to sit on the shelf?
No, well, hopefully not. I don't have my magic 8-ball on me, but these ones are the ones that the ones we identify are either already in motion or we have plans for them already in motion. And then the orange ones, yeah, we anticipate being able to start. I guess if they weren't able to start because a variety of things could happen between now and the end of the year, they would still carry forward for 2027 budget and project planning is how I interpret that.
Okay, thank you. I'm just wondering if in fact it does become clear that there isn't capacity to move forward on some of these identified items, if that could possibly come back to the next council, because they might have some ideas or some financial resources that they might dedicate to that. I just don't want to see these actions not being undertaken. And Mayor Fraser, I see your hand.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
thanks. The bandwidth went really low on me. So I just wanted to say that I think this report should form part of the next orientation for the next council so that they're aware of it and an update with respect to where we happen to be, because I happen to agree with you that I think there's some very actionable items on this.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the more that we can get it done sooner, the better. And yeah, it should become part of a focus for the 2027 budget to make sure we have the resources that we need. So if the new council is made aware of it right away, then it's right on the radar.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you. Okay, so there is an option for council's consideration. Councillor Andrews?
I'd like to motion that the Northern Rockies Economic Diversification Strategy be received as presented.
Seconded by Councillor Enox. All those in favor? Any opposed? Mayor, is that a legacy hand or did you want to speak?
No, it's still up. I wanted to, we talked it this morning. I don't know if we need to give ourselves permission to release this to the FNFN or not, but if we do, I would make that as an amendment that we release this report to the Fort Nelson First Nation.
Yeah, we already have. We've already forwarded to FNF.
It's already been done, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, so there is a motion on the floor that the Northern Rockies Economic Diversification Strategy be received as presented. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to 7.2 Administration Report 2926. Do we have staff? The report says it's Jasmine, but is how you've changed. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Fraser, Deputy Mayor Gerwin, Council. I'm here tonight to speak to the Northern Rockies Regional Airport Runway 04 SSALR high intensity approach light rehabilitation. Last year we were successful in getting some ACAP funding to upgrade our lights. We went through the design engineer last year over the winter, and the opportunity went out for tender and closed on April 16th of 2026. We had 2 successful submissions. We reviewed both for completeness, conformity with the tender documents, and for qualifications. Both were successful in that. The recommendation that I move forward tonight with is that the contract for the NRRA Runway 04 SSALR high intensity approach light rehabilitation be awarded to Black & McDonald Limited in the amount of $337,262.50, with the opportunity to increase for the contract value by approximately another $103,270 for the optional work that we had put out in the tender. That brings a total ACAP construction total of $440,532.50. And with contingency added in and consulting fees added in, the total is $529,539.50, which is under budget.
Great. Thank you. Any questions, Council? Councillor Sauce.
Yeah, these 2 companies that bid on this, where are they located? Where would their home base be?
Black McDonald they're all over the country, but they're out of Edmonton, I believe.
Yeah.
And Signal Electric is out of Sydney, British Columbia.
Okay, I was just curious, just because of being ACAP funding, is there sort of a network of contractors that do work for airports in the same way as there are hospital construction companies that work on hospitals?
Very much so, and both of these 2 companies, they have divisions that specialize in airport lights and airport work.
Perfect, thank you.
Mayor Fraser.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Green. Ron, maybe just remind me, I can't remember if we talked about this at budget time or not. What percentage of ACAP funding was this? Was it 100% funding?
Yes, at our airport, we get 100% funding from ACAP.
So we're only expected to cover the contingency, and the engineering wasn't part of that?
Yes.
Can speak.
Okay, so that's not ACAP funded, the engineering part.
It's ACAP funded as well. Yes.
See, very.
Yeah, it's 100%.
It's 100% covered.
Our ACAP budget was 550,000, I believe, and the total come in with our optional work at 529,000, and that includes our contingency and our consulting.
Okay,
It's
thank
just
you.
excluding the GST.
Okay, thanks. That clears it up for me. Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, comments? Okay, what are wishes of council? There's a recommendation before you.
I'd like to make a motion that the contract for the NRRA Runway 04 SSALR High Intensity Approach Light Rehabilitation be awarded to Black and McDonald Limited in the amount of $337,262.50 with the opportunity to increase for the contract value by approximately $103,270 for optional work plus applicable taxes and contingency.
Okay, do I have a seconder? Councillor Roper? All those in favor? Oh, Mayor, did you have your hand up?
No, thanks. I'm putting my hand up though. I'm not opposed.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, so that moves us on to Administration Report 30, Award of CIPP Lining and CCTV Investigation Program. Mr. Bostock, welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So I'm here for the award of the CIPP lining and CCTV investigation. We had a tender go out earlier this year, closed on April 2nd. Had 2 compliant bidders, both were evaluated, and Martech was found to be the lowest compliant bidder. Their bid came in at $696,000 and change. The municipal budget was 1.4 for this project, with 1.1 being allocated to the CIPP lining. So it's CIPP just a cured in place pipe liner. And we have, I believe there's about 11 locations spread around the municipality that are going to be completed this year.
Okay, great, thank you. Any questions, council? Okay,
It just made me think of how we always recognize that we have eyes in the sky. They're always looking down. We've got eyes underground. And does it ever save us a lot of money? Like, I remember the days when you used to dig everything that was a problem, and this is such a wonderful technological improvement in the world of municipalities. It's really good.
okay. What are the wishes of council? Councillor Roper.
I'll make the recommendation that the contract for the CIPP lining and CCTV investigation program be awarded to Martech Underground Services Ltd. in the amount of $696,320.96 plus applicable taxes and contingency.
Okay, do I have a seconder? Councillor Andrews. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to report 31. Read changes to the northern and rural homeowner benefit. Hello.
Hello again. Good evening.
You're back.
I am. A bad penny always shows back up. Good evening once again. I wanted to bring you information, although not great information, about the province's decision to repeal the benefit for northern and rural homeowners. That will be effective January 2027. We know it's going to directly impact our residents. So what's changing? Since 2021, there's been a supplemental $200 deduction for eligible homeowners to be able to reduce the amount of taxes that they're paying. So I always think about a balanced set of books. So the homeowner isn't paying us the $200, but the province is. So we're collecting those taxes directly from the province. In 2027, the homeowner is going to be responsible for paying us those taxes directly. The province will not be supplementing that further. Statistics, 2025, we had 1,120 taxpayers who utilized the benefit. So over 1,100 homes. And they were supported by over $200,000 in supplement that they did not have to utilize out of their own pockets. We also want to understand what that meant for us over the last 5 years. And that total is just shy of $1 million. And of that, over 30% of it is going to impact our seniors or persons with disabilities. So my concern certainly is first and foremost for the community, who certainly the economic times aren't great. I'm concerned that there's an additional burden on our residential homeowners. And also I'm concerned that the perception that the town is raising taxes because they'll be required to pay that additional $200 directly to us, where in the past the province paid it to us. So I want to bring that forward and answer any questions that you might have. I also note that there is correspondence later on from Prince George looking for support in terms of this issue that's affecting the majority of British Columbia.
Great. Thank you. Questions or comments? Councillor Enox.
Just wondering, this might not even be for you, Tony, just, I mean, anybody in the room, if anybody's seen anything online or advertised anywhere that the province is thinking of doing this or is doing this.
So this was a decision in the budget, provincial budget. I'm sorry, in terms of the reduction of the supplement?
Yeah, just wondering if anybody's aware that this is what they're doing. I haven't seen anything myself, but that doesn't mean anybody else hasn't. Just curious.
It's beginning to roll out, and I'm seeing more municipalities within BC also looking to approach the government to make the change. And when the benefit first came in, it came in as a result of additional revenue that they were getting for the carbon tax. And so they viewed it as a direct offset. And my understanding is with the reduction of the carbon tax revenue now, they're removing the program. But it's not removing, they're not realizing or acknowledging that the need is still there. They identified the need when the program came in 2011. But there are other municipalities that are working towards this and becoming informed.
Mayor Fraser.
Thank you very much. I really don't think there are many in the province like us who are as affected by this as we are. You know, they gave this benefit to much of the province because of the carbon tax that was being collected all over the province. Now that's gone away. You know, they're not collecting it from the general public, but they are still collecting it from the industries.
Industry, yeah.
Industry carbon tax is still in place. I'm, been a proponent for them to cancel that as well, because it's one of the main reasons that our producers are not producing out there, because there is no choice. We are not connected to the grid. So if they want to operate, have electric equipment that's replacing the gas equipment, they've got to generate their own electricity, and we're not on the grid. So to me, this is a fairness issue, and they're still collecting it. If they don't get rid of it entirely, then we should at least get some benefit from the carbon tax because of the distance that we are. So I am in agreement with Mayor Yu's letter, and I think two things need to happen. As we talk about it later, I think we should support them and co-sponsor that if they'll let us. And the second is that we need to get it out there into the public what this actually is, so that if they don't back off on it, we don't look like we're the devils adding $200 to everybody's tax. So I think we should probably put together a communication plan as well.
Okay, thank you. I agree. I fully support Mayor Yu's letter and requisition. In addition to that, I would really like to see a response directly from us. I think we are best at telling our own story, and DFO Pike has put together some pretty compelling numbers. And as you mentioned, what you had just talked about as well, Mayor. So I would like to see us write a letter to, I'm not exactly sure who, but somebody in the province, voicing our displeasure and stating, like just quoting the numbers and how we will be impacted, and the fact that the industrial carbon tax is still being collected, and the unfairness, as you have pointed out, Mayor. And I would like to see that CC'd to our MLA. Yeah, and I'm not sure who else to CC it to, but open. Everyone we can think of, yeah. That was my thinking, and then we can further talk about supporting what Mayor Yu has proposed when it comes to that. I see a lot of head nodding, Mayor, so you can't see it, so I'm just, would anybody be opposed to writing our own letter? No?
I think it's necessary.
Okay. So I would make that motion if I had a seconder. Okay, Councillor Enox. All those in favor? Oh, sorry, any further discussion?
No, I can see your heads, Bob, and you just can't see mine.
Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Moving on to the 5-year financial plan, bylaw number 244. So we are looking for adoption of this. Ms. Pike. Did you have any comments or?
No comments, just looking for adoption on the next two bylaws, please.
Okay, so we'll deal with number 244. Councillor Andrews, did I see your hand? Sorry. Oh, sorry, Councillor Souls. Okay.
I like to motion that the 5-year financial plan bylaw number 244, 2026 be adopted.
Okay, seconded by Councillor Souls. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
I'm
Any
in favor.
opposed? Okay. So, okay, seeing none opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, moving on to 7.6, the tax bylaw number 245. Any comments? None? Okay. Councillor Andrews.
I'd like to motion that the tax rates bylaw number 245, 2026 be adopted.
Okay, seconded by Councillor Souls. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, moving on to correspondence and information. So first item up is the letter from Mayor Yu, Simon Yu, Mayor of the City of Prince George, regarding the City of Prince George requisition to co-sponsorship of the Northern Rural Homeowners Grant Resolution to UBCM. So I'm assuming that everybody had a chance to read the letter, and I see Mayor Fraser's hand up. Go ahead.
Thank you. So I move that we write a letter to the City of Prince George Council, Mayor and Council, advising them that we're prepared to co-sponsor this resolution to UBCM.
Okay, I'll second that. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, motion approved. Thank you. Motion carries, that's the word. Okay, and then 8.2, letter from Chris Norbury, President of the South Peace Health Services Society. So a letter of support for funding for Bulterys house operations. Open for discussion. Mayor?
Thank you. I'd also like to move that we send a letter to the South Peace Health Services Society to let them know that we are in favor and support the Bulterys house, and that we change the wording from the chair and directors of the Northern Rockies Regional District to the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality.
Good catch. Okay, do we have a seconder, Councillor Enox? Any further discussion? I just had a point of clarification. In the letter, it says that Northern Health has decided to discontinue funding at the end of this year. I'm just wondering if we could investigate further with Northern Health as to how, like, what's the decision based on? Is it just purely a lack of funds, or? Yeah, I would be interested. Not that I don't support writing the letter, I absolutely do, but in addition to that, I would be interested in getting some more information on why the funding was discontinued. Councillor Souls.
Just when we do write a letter, let's use our own title instead of the one they put in here as a suggestion, yeah.
Okay.
They called us the Northern Rockies Regional District.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
I hear an echo. I hear an echo.
Okay, good catch. All right. So I'm sorry, was there a motion then for letters? That was you, Mayor. You put a motion on the floor and it was seconded by Councillor Enox, right? And we had a discussion. Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Now, do we need a separate motion to investigate further with Northern Health as to the discontinuation of the funding? No, we're good. Okay, thank you. Okay, great. Thank you so much. And then 8.3, letter from the Fort Nelson Hospital and Health Care Foundation, charity bed races. I think they're asking us to put in a team. I'm not here. Otherwise, I absolutely would participate just because I want to see that little beetle thing, whatever that thing is. Going, have you seen it yet? Oh, man. It's so cute.
And I believe I'm cooking that day, so that gets me out of the bad race. Thank you.
So the ask is, please let us know if you're interested in registering a team or would like more information. So, yeah, Councillor Enox.
Could we let like Mr. Cavalier know and Mr. Sean O'Shaughnessy and that and combine all of staff and council?
Well, I don't know if staff has got their own team in or not. This was,
Oh.
yeah, I don't know. It was addressed to the mayor and
Oh.
council, so yeah, I probably.
It could be a real competition.
We've been challenged to register. Staff in the past has at times put teams in. I know Public Works back then when I was over there put a team in, but I'm not sure where they are today, or fire at times.
Right.
So, fire put in 2 teams last year, yes. So yeah, this request is specific to council.
Yes, it's specific to council. Councillor Andrews.
If they still allowed a rider, I would suggest that I could ride. I'm not able-bodied enough to be running in the race.
Yeah.
But I'd like to encourage all of our staff, support of council, if we could give it to them, of anybody who wants to participate.
Okay. Well, I'm not seeing that there is enough remaining council members to actually put in a team. So I am not here physically. I'm away. So I guess we'll leave it at that. Okay. All right. Thank you. Mayor, unless you had something to add there.
I have nothing to add except I would have rode as well because my knees just will not handle thundering up and down that parking lot.
Okay, so moving on then, 8.4, we have correspondence for information, a letter from Bev Vandersteen, Executive Director of the Fort Nelson and District Chamber of Commerce regarding the thank you. And then also included for information was the ready statistics for the first quarter of 2026. New business items, there were no council or CAO additions. Standing items for discussion, councillor reports. Councillor Enox.
I'll just make this quick. April 30th, I attended the Zoom council update meeting. May 1st, the special council meeting as well. May 2nd and 3rd, Bev's fabulous trade show. I spent the entire weekend there. Great job. It was
good.
really busy Saturday. Sunday, just not quite as busy, but it was a steady flow. So thanks for that, Bev. And then on May 6th, I spent almost the entire day at McDonald's for McHappy Day. Just like to thank Jeet for allowing us to come in there on, in his everyday world. We have a lot of fun. We don't know about the staff, but I'm sure there's a few who are glad that we leave. It was a great day. May 7th, I attended the Heritage Society meeting. And then this morning, the fantastic meeting with Council to Council with Fort Nelson First Nation.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Councillor Souls.
Yeah, I just had this week on this past Thursday, so I had a meeting with a bunch of farmers, local farmers, to talk about the issues of wildlife predation and haystacks and things like that. So that was really cool. 11 farmers in one room. Imagine. Wow. Anyway, I'll be meeting with staff just to bring some of my notes forward from that as we work on that issue that we're running into with the wildlife.
Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. Look forward to seeing that. Okay. Mayor, did you want to,
Sure,
do you have a councillor report?
Sure. I'll jump in with some of the things I've been doing the last couple of weeks. So, April 29th, I was at the annual general meeting of Northern Development Initiative Trust, where we elected new officers. We accepted our annual financial statements. The draft annual report, we went through that, and we started talking about the legislative review that we're looking at. That will include potentially a top up of our funds, as well as First Nations co-governance as part of NDIT, because the First Nations were never included in the trust legislation right from the very start. So some great conversations there, and we'll see where all of that goes. So later in that evening, I went to the nurses presentation where they presented us and the new award to their membership. This was an annual banquet that they do as part of their annual convention. It's pretty clear that they're gearing up for a strike vote. They were pretty pumped about that. When the nurses get together and put a theme event on, it's a lot of fun. I'm happy I got out of there with my life. So then May the 1st, I had a call with Clint Fraser from the Northeast BC Tourism Association, talking about procurement practices and the concerns that we have. They see us as a valuable partner. They want us to, obviously maintain good relations with them. I reiterated our need for them to put together a procurement policy. We talked a written procurement policy. We talked a little bit about what might be in that. He asked for assistance. I don't know if he's reached out to us yet, but they're a fairly small organization, and we talked about some of the things that they do. They do procure locally with their local contacts whenever they're doing some work in a particular area. And I said, you can put that in if you like. And then, the bigger picture is where they have a regional project that might span several different communities. They need to have, a way to ensure that all their members, all the communities that their membership communities get an opportunity for their contractors to bid on that stuff. And so, we talked about putting them on our website and any other website. He said he'd get back to us. It would take him a little bit of time. He can't make that decision. He has to sit in front of his board of directors. So he asked for a couple of months' grace to get that done, but he committed to actually getting a program out for us, for everybody. Then on May the 2nd, I took a trip up the highway with the prospective CEO candidate, and his wife, and that went very well. I toured them, through all the spots and give them a bit of an idea of all the different places that I have visited in my life, and the parts that are key highlights, I guess, going up the highway. Then on May the 3rd, I took my turn at the trade show. I thought it was also very good. I thought the position where we were was good. When people were coming in, they had an opportunity to have a look at our booth and interact. Same, it was fairly slow on Sunday morning until Kyle took over for me. So great opportunity to connect with people, and that's always the best part of it. Then finally I guess not finally, May the 6th, I sat in on the Northeast Roundtable meeting until about 11 o'clock. And then I had to leave that meeting and also went over to McDonald's to assist with the McHappy Day fundraiser. Jeet said that at that moment across Canada, they were over 55 million, and that they had that they had committed as a group of owners to raise $70 million across Canada. And he thought they were well on their way to doing that. He then promptly put me on the complaint desk where I dealt with complaints and orders that didn't come in. I had to deal with 2 order repairs while I was there. And I finally came up with the slogan that their meals were being served with love and confusion, with no promise of accuracy. It was a lot of fun. I encourage anybody else who gets the opportunity to do that next year to do it. So that's my report. I'll have a further report from the BC Economic Development Summit that I'm at right now at the next meeting.
Great. Thanks, Mayor. I'll briefly go over mine. So in addition to the various additional council meetings from the past 2 weeks, I attended the Seniors Roundtable meeting on April the 28th. And just as an information item, there's now a transition bed in Heritage Place that is now available. And what this bed is intended to is allow residents who can be released from the hospital, but home is not yet accessible for various reasons, to be released. So instead of staying in the hospital, they can be released to this transition bed. So, and that bed and care can be provided at a much lower cost, but still in that supportive environment. So that's a step forward for sure. And then Seniors Week, June. Oh yeah, and just a reminder, Seniors Week is June 1st to the 5th. Lots of activities are being planned. April 30th, I had the great pleasure to attend 2 grade 8 classes, speaking with them all things local government. It was very interesting. I took candy to make sure it was really interesting, and they were very appreciative of that. So if you ever have to do a presentation, take candy. They really like that. But they
that's
were really
that's why they call you and not me now, because I never took them any candy.
That's right. I know how to bribe them. Yeah, they were great. Both groups, they were really, really great. And they were really interested in what local government does. So every time they asked a question, they got a candy, you see. So it worked out really well, just so you know. Yeah, the teacher wanted me to talk about what our roles are and kind of like what drew us in, what made us run. So I addressed that from my perspective. And then he also wanted me to talk about opportunities and challenges currently within the NRM and what that future might look like. So I was really grateful for that economic diversification report. So it kind of did all my work for me. So that was great. It was a really fun morning. So yeah, May 2nd, I spent the day at the NRM booth at the trade show. And yeah, as I spoke earlier, once again, the chamber did a wonderful job. I spoke with lots of people, most of whom were really happy with local government. So that was exciting. But I just wanted to mention to council, and probably more for the future council. In past years, we used to have 2 people at the booth at all times. And this year we did not. Last year we didn't either. I missed a lot of people this year because I had residents that were wanting to have more in-depth conversation, and you don't want to cut that off and see you later, talk to you later or whatever. So while we were having those more involved, in-depth conversations, people were coming through the booth, and then there wasn't anybody to address what they wanted to talk about. So some of them waited for a while and some of them moved on. So just something to think about next year, that, is this booth intended to be council's booth, or, is it like staff and council, or just, as we're moving forward. I personally, on the Saturday anyways, one person wasn't enough. May 4th, I met with the working group for the Primary Care Stabilization Committee. And then on the 5th, attended and facilitated the Primary Care Stabilization Committee meeting. We had two presentations on clinic models, one from the Community Health Center's perspective and one from the Gabriola Health Center. And then, as always, the committee had great discussions and learning. May 9th, I attended the first annual Community Buy and Sell Palooza at Art Fraser Park. There were various vendors, park games, and those bouncy castles drew us right in. Had to take my grandsons there, so popular. And there were some recycling opportunities, and there was even an outdoor pizza oven offering freshly made pizza. So, and there was a nacho thing, and it was lots of food. Great job, everyone. And then later that night, I supported Grace Manor in their Diamond Bingo. So that's my report. Okay. Any other councillor reports? Seeing none. Any business outstanding? Seeing none. Any notice of motion? Okay. Excuse me. Item 12, public news media question and answer period. Anything? Yes, I have a question. Thank you.
Hello, Daniel here from Northern Rockies Lodge and Adventures. Good evening, Mayor, Council. Thanks for the opportunity. I just quickly wanted to speak to the strategic plan from Deloitte and just some kind of feedbacks from a tourism perspective. I think it's a great positive strategy to see, tourism, and especially high value tourism flagged here as a key opportunity for the region. But as Krista pointed out on page 8, the report really poorly reflects the value of tourism. I think to see tourism kind of in the 6th or 7th place economically, it's a cumulative industry, with services being mixed in, arts and culture. Tourism's definitely understated in there. And I just want to bring that to council's attention. Tourism is a massive driver. We have the Alaska Highway going right through town. The Alaska Highway connects the entire NRRM. The value of tourism, being understated in this report is slightly concerning, but as long as, we're aware of that tourism is a major economic driver, I think it's something that can be looked at. As for kind of the tourism assets outlined for expansion and growth in the plan, I think they're all well and good. The issue I think there is that some of the metrics are probably shooting a little bit below the bar, while there are more ambitious metrics for agriculture and some other industries. I think tourism is in a precarious situation right now. It had COVID, of course, that was a major challenge. And I think with this economic downturn we're seeing globally, tourism will again be a little bit of a struggle. I think the tourism sector will be looking to local municipalities like the NRRM for support. And that support will come, in a sense of marketing funds, support for trail networks, permitting, etc. And it just isn't as outlined in this plan as one would like, especially considering it's a 5-year plan. So I think going ahead, just tracking the revenue of tourism in the region would be very valuable to see, if the investment in tourism is appropriate to the revenue that's being generated. And that'd be my comment. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Thank you very much, Daniel, for attending and taking the time to make those comments. Not sure how we cannot lose sight of what Daniel has stated here. Is there some way that we can connect Daniel with the planning department, and then perhaps they can have a conversation and put some of his feedback or take into account his feedback and moving forward with the report.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I hope that works for you, Daniel. We'll get you connected with the planning department and make sure that that the report somehow reflects your input.
Greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much. Mayor, did you have a comment? Not sure.
No, I think you covered it off. I think the report around tourism was fairly general. I think it it reflects the need for more high value backcountry opportunities, I suppose, and I think if we put this in front of the next council as we move forward and as ideas come forward, as Daniel has said, trail networks, that sort of thing, it will be in the back of our minds that this report was referring to those sorts of things. So I think the next council and this council, if anything comes forward this summer, can take that into consideration, that we all, support that backcountry tourism. So yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we are going to temporarily adjourn this meeting and we're going to go in camera. What section? Sorry. 91C of the community charter. Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Roper. All those in favor? Perfect. Welcome back to the Regional Council meeting of May the 11th. And I would just like to call this meeting adjourned. Nothing to rise and report. Thank you.